Welcome to Mr. English Hub. I'm Paul.
And I'm Rachel.
And we're about to do a deep dive into some really useful source material you shared with us. It's all about dining out in English.
That's right. We're aiming today to sort of cut straight to the chase on navigating the entire restaurant experience.
A whole thing,
Yeah.
from booking to paying.
The whole flow, from walking in, getting seated, ordering, right through to settling the bill, and crucially, how to sound polite and confident while doing it.
Right, because that's what stood out, didn't it? Our mission here is to take all these phrases and conversations we looked at and structure them. Give you, the listener, a simple step-by-step guide.
So you can walk into pretty much any cafe or restaurant and know what to say.
Okay, let's unpack this, starting at the very beginning.
Right.
Arriving. Making that first impression.
Exactly. The moment you step inside, you need to communicate clearly. A simple hello or good evening works fine.
Or even more casual in like a cafe. Hi, hey.
Yeah, hi, hey, hiya. Depending on the place, definitely works for informal spots. Now, an interesting point from the sources. Who are we actually talking to? The staff.
Ah, yes, terminology. The sources highlighted a really strong shift here. We used to say waiter for a man, waitress for a woman.
Those are becoming less common, especially in, more professional settings or cities.
So what's the modern term?
The modern, polite, and importantly gender-neutral term is server.
Server, right.
If you want to sound current and respectful, that's the one to use.
Okay, so you walk in, you see the host or hostess stand. What if you have a reservation?
Keep it simple, clear and confident. Hello, we have a reservation. Then give the name.
Like under Smith.
Exactly. My name is Mr. Miller, or reservation for Smith. They'll usually respond with something like, yes, Mr. Miller, your table is ready. Please follow me.
Pretty straightforward, but what if you don't have one? You've just, popped in.
Then this is a simple, direct, polite request. A table for number, please.
Always with please.
Always. It's non-negotiable for politeness in English. A table for two, please. A table for four, please. It sets the right tone immediately.
Okay. And sometimes they might offer a choice of seating.
They might. The server could ask, would you like to sit by the window or perhaps here near the aisle?
And if it's busy, if there's a wait, what should you listen for?
The host or hostess might say something like, a table will be ready in about 10 minutes. Would you like to have a seat or would you like to wait at the bar?
And you just reply based on whether you're happy to wait. Yes, that's fine, thank you.
Precisely. Okay, so you're seated. Now for the next big step, ordering the meal.
And this is where politeness gets really, really crucial, isn't it? English speakers tend to value politeness, maybe even over directness when ordering.
Absolutely. First hurdle, getting the menu if it hasn't been given to you.
How do you ask? Not give me the menu, right?
Definitely not. Remember the golden rule.
Mm-hmm.
Indirect requests. Use those softening modal verbs.
Like could or can.
Exactly. Could I see the menu, please? Or can I have the menu, please? The please is still essential.
You mentioned modal verbs there. Why are they so important? Why do could I or I would like sound so much more polite than just say I want?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's really the core mechanism. Modals like could, would, may, might, they create a bit of distance.
Yeah.
They make it sound less like a demand, more like a suggestion.
Like you're giving the server the option, almost.
Sort of, yes. It signals deference. I want the soup is very direct. I would like the soup suggests a preference, a possibility.
Yeah.
It just changes the whole social feel of the interaction.
Makes sense. So you've politely asked for the menu. You've got it. Let's quickly run through the main sections people will see.
Sure. Generally, you'll find three main parts. First, the starter or appetizer.
Small dish first, like soup, salad.
Right. Then the main course or main dish. That's the big one. Steak, pasta, fish, whatever.
The main event.
And finally, dessert. The sweet course at the end, cake, ice cream, fruit.
Got it. Okay, back to that golden rule of ordering. We said avoid I want.
Absolutely avoid it. Instead, use those polite constructions we talked about. The safest bets are, I would like thee.
Using would.
Yes. Or the slightly more common spoken form, I'll have thee, which is short for I will have.
I'll have the chicken salad, please.
Perfect. Both I would like and I'll have are polite and completely standard.
Quick question, though. What about really casual places like a fast food joint or a very informal cafe? Is I'll have the burger still okay, or is it maybe a bit too direct even there?
That's where context does matter a bit. In a super casual place, I'll have the burger is generally fine. The level of formality is lower.
But
But
I would like
the
all.
burger is never wrong. It works everywhere from a Greasy spoon cafe to a fancy restaurant.
So if in doubt, stick with I would like.
Exactly. It guarantees politeness, which is usually the aim when you're learning or just want to be sure.
Okay. The server's waiting, pen poised, but you're still looking at the menu, feeling the pressure. What's the phrase? To buy some time.
Don't panic. Just use a polite delaying tactic. Could we have a little more time, please?
Read shorter.
Just a minute, please. That works perfectly well, too. Acknowledges them, gets you breathing room.
And what if the menu is huge or confusing? Can you ask for help?
Definitely. Asking for recommendations is very common. You can ask, what is today's special?
That's the dish the restaurant is highlighting that day.
Right. Or, more broadly, what do you recommend? It shows you value their opinion.
Good tip. And sometimes, for specific dishes, you need to be ready with more info, right? Like ordering steak.
Yes, absolutely. If you order steak, the server will almost certainly ask how you want it cooked.
So you need to know the terms.
You do. Be ready to say rare, medium, or well done. Have that ready before you even order the steak.
Okay. Orders placed. Food's arrived. Now we're into section 3. Managing things during the meal. How do you get the server's attention politely if you need something? No finger snapping.
Please no. The best way, the universal way, is to try and make eye contact. Maybe a small, discreet raise of the hand.
And then?
And then simply say, clearly, but not loudly, excuse me. That's your go-to polite attention getter.
Okay. Excuse me. Got it. Now, the server often comes over partway through the meal to ask how things are.
Right. They'll ask something like, how is everything so far? Or, is everything okay with your meals?
And the standard reply, assuming things are fine.
Keep it positive and brief. Everything is great, thank you. Or, yes, it's delicious, thanks. Simple appreciation.
What about needing extras? More water, more bread, another drink, still using those polite requests?
Always. Stick to the formula. Can I have some more water, please? Or, could we get a refill on our drinks, please?
Now, the sources mentioned a common mistake here, specifically with water. Avoid saying another water.
Yes, that's a really subtle one. It sounds logical, like another beer or another coffee.
But it sounds a bit awkward for water. Why is that?
It's because water is usually poured from a jug or bottle, not served as a distinct single unit like a can or a cup you finish entirely. It's seen more as a continuous supply.
Okay. So it's about quantity, not units.
Exactly. So asking for some more water or a glass of water sounds much more natural. Small detail, big difference in fluency.
Right. Now, for the moment, everyone dreads. The wrong order arrives. The plate hits the table, and it's not what you asked for. How do you handle that without sounding rude or accusatory?
Tone is absolutely critical here. You're pointing out an error, not blaming anyone. Start soft. Use a buffer phrase. I'm sorry, but I think there might be a mistake with my order.
So you actually say sorry, even though it wasn't your fault.
Yes. It's that classic English politeness strategy. You're apologizing for the awkwardness of having to point out the problem. It immediately lowers any potential tension.
Okay, I'm sorry, but then what?
Then clarify calmly and clearly. I actually ordered the grilled chicken, but this looks like the fried chicken. Just state the facts.
And then the request to fix it.
Again, use the polite modal verbs. Would it be possible to change this? Or maybe, is there any way I could get the grilled chicken instead? Frame it as a possibility, not a demand.
That gives the server room to sort it out without feeling attacked. Makes sense. What if it's more serious, like an allergy issue?
If it involves an allergy or a serious dietary need, you still start politely. But you must be firm and clear for safety.
How would that sound?
Excuse me, I'm so sorry, but I mentioned I have a severe nut allergy, and I think there might be nuts in this dish. Could I please get something else entirely? Safety first, but the polite could-I structure remains.
Okay. Before we get to paying, there was that interesting UK-specific point about fish and chips from a takeaway place.
Yes. The chip shop culture. If you order fish and chips to go from a traditional chippy, you might get asked, do you want them opened or wrapped?
Opened or wrapped?
Open means they serve them in the paper, but leave the top open, usually because you plan to eat them right away, maybe walking down the street. Wrapped means they bundle the whole thing up tightly in paper for you to take home.
A little piece of local knowledge. Good to know. All right, meal finished. Section 4, paying the bill and the final cultural bits. You've got the server's attention. Excuse me. How do you ask for the bill?
The universally understood, always safe phrase is, could I have the bill, please? Bill. B-I-L-L. But wait, isn't there another word people use?
There is, and this is a key geographical difference. In the UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, it's generally called the bill.
But in the U.S.,
In the United States, it's almost always called the check.
check. C-H-E-C-K.
Right. Both mean the same thing, that piece of paper with the total cost. Knowing the local term makes you sound more natural.
So which one should learners use if they're not sure where they are or want to default?
Honestly, bill is probably slightly safer globally, as check is more strongly associated with the US, but could I have the bill check, please? Covers all bases.
Okay, bill or check received. Time to pay. What if you want to use a card, not cash?
Just ask simply, do you take credit cards? Or even more informally, do you take card?
And with contactless being so common now, you can specifically ask, is it contactless? Referring to the tap-to-pay method.
Right. What if you're dining with friends and need to split the cost? How do you ask that without making it a huge hassle?
Servers are used to this, especially these days. It's usually not a problem. Just ask clearly.
What are the phrases?
Can we pay separately, please? Is very clear. Or, can we split the bill between us, please?
Or even just, can we split it?
Yeah, let's split it, or can we split it? Works fine in most situations.
Okay, now the often awkward topic. Tipping. Especially in the UK. What's the deal?
Tipping varies hugely worldwide, of course. But for the UK, the general guideline is around 10 to 15% for good service in a restaurant. Maybe more expected in London.
But there's a really important thing to check first, right?
Absolutely vital. Always check the bill before you decide on a tip. Look carefully for a line item that says service charge or sometimes gratuity.
And if that service charge is already included, usually about 12.5%.
If it's already on there, then technically no additional tip is required or even necessarily expected. You can add more for exceptional service, but you're not obligated.
And if it's not included,
If there's no service charge included, then leaving nothing is generally considered quite rude, as tips often make up a significant part of the server's income. So aim for that 10–15% in that case.
good clarification. Always check the bill first. Now, what about that old pub tradition mentioned, the tab?
Ah, the pub tab. This is more common in traditional older pubs. Maybe if you're settling in for a long evening with a group, you can ask the bar staff if you can open up a tab.
Which means,
Usually you give them your credit card, they keep it securely behind the bar, and then every time you order drinks, they just add it to your running total.
and at the end of the night.
You go back to the bar and say you want to pay off your tab or settle your tab, and they'll charge you for everything at once.
Interesting. Okay, finally, let's circle back to that core theme of politeness and address the stereotype. Why do British people say sorry all the time? It confuses people because it doesn't always mean admitting fault.
It really does confuse people. It ties directly back to that cultural preference for avoiding confrontation and maintaining social ease.
So it's not always an apology.
Often, no.
Hmm.
Think of it more like a social lubricant. If someone bumps into you slightly, you might both say sorry. It doesn't mean, I apologize for bumping you or you were wrong to bump me.
Just means,
It's more like a quick acknowledgement of the minor disruption, like saying, oops, bit of a collision there, hope it's okay, or pardon me. It smooths over the tiny social friction instantly.
so understanding that use of sorry, that it can just be a filler word for politeness, is quite key to sounding natural and understanding interactions.
Exactly. It's about minimizing awkwardness.
Looking back at everything we've covered, what really stands out is how that politeness is baked into the language itself, using modal verbs like could I have or would you like. It's the how you ask.
That's absolutely the core takeaway for building confidence. We've essentially mapped out the whole conversation flow.
From that initial, hello, a table for two, please, right through to could I have the bill, please, and knowing the difference between bill and check.
And if you think bigger picture, mastering these simple, polite, often indirect phrases isn't just about getting your food correctly. It's about fitting in, navigating the social expectations smoothly.
You integrate better.
You do. You feel more comfortable, and you make others feel more comfortable too.
So thinking about this for you, the learner, what does this all mean in practice?
Well, it raises an interesting question, doesn't it? When you're out there actually trying this, do you find this focus on politeness and indirectness always having to remember, could I have? Instead of just saying what you want, is that harder to master than, say, learning specific local slang words like mate or cheers?
That's something to think about. Is the cultural nuance of politeness trickier than just vocabulary?
Something to mull over, perhaps, next time you're ordering a coffee? Or maybe a cuppa at a boozer, if you're feeling adventurous with the slang.
Definitely food for thought. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into English for dining out.
Hope it was helpful.
Until next time, keep practicing.